Forget the recaps of today's series because I know the Cardinals entering today's game, the day I'm recording this, Tuesday, April 14th. I know the Cardinals entering this game have lost 3 in a row. And there have been bright spots. There have also been low spots. But I'm going to talk about the thing that needs to be addressed today. And that's the Cardinals bullpen. Really just their pitching staff in general. And it seems to be another one of those situations, and we kind of got this a lot last year, where the Cardinals would either have a good day on one side of the ball or the other. You're only as good as your pitching, though, so you need to have good pitching more than anything. The Cardinals either have really bad pitching and pretty good hitting, or really good pitching but no hitting at all. And sometimes they have neither. And that was kind of the case for the last 3 games the Cardinals have had. They have struggled to put runs across the board. However, one guy that hasn't struggled to put runs across the board is the Cardinal right fielder, Jordan Walker. We will continue to talk about his hot streak today because, man, his Baseball Savant page keeps getting more and more read. But let's start with the Cardinals bullpen. I'm looking at some numbers right here, and the Cardinals bullpen sits at a 5.26, and that is the 6th highest bullpen ERA in all of Major League Baseball. It's the 2nd highest in the National League, only behind the Nationals. The Cardinals somehow still have 5 saves, pretty much all from Riley O'Brien, and I believe 1 from Ryan Stanek. They've given up 62 hits. They have given up 38 earned runs, have a whip of 1.52. They have given up 6 homers, 36 walks, and just 50 strikeouts. The 50 strikeouts is the lowest of any NL bullpen, and I believe it is the 4th lowest in all of Major League Baseball, behind only 3 American League teams, the Tigers, who have 47, the Rays, who have 48, and the Rangers, who have 49. This is a massive, massive problem. This is a day and age in baseball where you got to get a swing and miss. You got to get strikeouts. The ball is getting put in play way too much, and hitters are so good. Hitters are really, really good. They're going to find a way to put a ball in play. They're going to find a way to find a hole in the infield and manufacture runs. It doesn't matter if you're giving up the hard contact, which sometimes the Cardinals are, but it doesn't matter if you're not giving up the hard contact. You can't just say, oh, well, he was giving up soft contact. Some of those were unlucky hits. It doesn't matter. The ball should not be getting put in play as much as it is. So I have a little chart here from Fangraphs, and it shows you the highest ground ball percentage of all the teams in the majors. And right now, the Cardinals sit at the 5th highest ground ball rate of any team in Major League Baseball. The only teams above them are the Yankees, the Giants, the Padres, and the Phillies. But you'll notice a couple things about the Phillies that are way different than the Cardinals. If you look at their strikes per 9, and especially their walk rate, strikes per 9 for the Phils, 10.3. That is a fantastic K per 9 ratio. They are getting guys out, and they don't have to rely on the ground ball. They have guys who can get swing and miss stuffs and strike you out. The Padres, same thing, 9.3. The Yankees, 9.1. Even the Giants sit at just below 8 or just below 9. The Cardinals sit at just above 6. 6 strikeouts per 9 innings. And if you look at all of these teams, the lowest team that I can see that is even closest to them are the Colorado Rockies, who still have a full strikeout extra than the Cardinals at 7.2. And then we can sort by the highest walk rate in Major League Baseball. While the walks haven't been disastrous for the St. Louis bullpen, because of how many balls in play they're giving up, this rate needs to go down. They currently sit at the 9th worst in all of Major League Baseball, behind a couple of NL Central teams in the Reds, Pirates, and Brewers. You have the White Sox, Nationals, Athletics, A's, and the Astros leading the way. The Astros giving up 6 walks per 9 innings on average, while the Cardinals sit at 4.1. Still not great, but at least it's not a 6. And you see here at the Ks per 9, you see that the Cardinals are all the way down at 6 Ks per 9 innings. There are only 5 teams in baseball who have below an 8 K per 9. Those teams are the Braves, Diamondbacks, Nationals, Rockies, and St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals just barely getting into the 6 strikeouts per 9 innings. That is not good. Like that is a problem. That's a major, major problem. Every now and again, you'll get a performance from a guy like Matthew Liberatore. Well, he'll strike out 6, 7, 8 batters in a game. But that's like once every other month, you might get that type of strikeout performance from Matthew Liberatore. There have been times where I think Michael McGreevy have struck out 5, 6, 7 batters in a game. But that just doesn't happen on a regular basis. That needs to happen on a regular basis. That is the key thing for this pitching staff. That is what you need. You need a guy who can strike batters out. And that's presumably what Liam Doyle is going to be once he gets to the big leagues. Maybe they can develop Quinn Matthews, that he can turn into a swing and miss guy. I'm sure we'll probably see him at some point in the year. If things get really, really bleak in the pitching rotation, you may see Quinn Matthews. You may see a Tink Hence get called up from AAA Memphis. But at this moment in time, the Cardinals sit with by far the worst K per 9 as a pitching staff in all of Major League Baseball, and it is not even close. Next, we can also look at ERA. The Cardinals, if you look at these numbers, they've been getting lucky. They've been getting really, really lucky. I guess unlucky, lucky, whatever you want to call it. They have the third highest ERA in all of Major League Baseball at a 5.1. The two teams worse are the Nationals and the Astros. But their expected ERA, get this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5.61. That is second highest in all Major League Baseball, behind, once again, only the Washington Nationals. Their FIP, while still lower than their ERA, is not enough lower to say that, yeah, they've just been getting unlucky. No, their FIP is still a 4.86, tied for the third highest in Major League Baseball with the Colorado Rockies. It's not good. This is not a good pitching staff, and something needs to change about it. I understand their expectations are they weren't expecting to compete at all this year. Something has to change. Something has to change, and something has to change now. Not like later on in the year. Something has to change now. Because if they're going to wait out and see like, oh, maybe Kyle Leahy will turn into a strikeout guy, I bet you $100 that he will not. At least this season, he will not. I don't think Michael McGreevy will turn into that strikeout guy. I know damn well Andre Palante will not turn into that strikeout guy. Maybe you can find something out of Dustin May, because Dustin May has the nastiest stuff, but he's still trying to put it all together. Maybe if he puts it all together, he can be that good strikeout guy for you. And I know Liberatore can strike some guys out, but he's just not consistent with it. But you need to find a guy who you can consistently rely on to strike guys out. And most of the arms that you can do that are in the bullpen. And really, there's only one guy, and it's Riley O'Brien. But even then, Riley O'Brien is not striking guys out a lot, and he's your closer. I know Riley O'Brien has had a very sick start to the season. He's had a very sick start to the season, and he's your closer. He has thrown 8 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, not giving up a single run, with a whip of .48, with 4 saves and a win on the young season. I got to tell you, though, you got to get more. You got to get more. You cannot just solely rely on Riley O'Brien to get your swing and miss stuff. If you are down, let's say it is 3-2, 4th inning, your pitcher has 80 pitches, you got to take him out of the game because it's his third time going through the lineup. Let's say it's a righty-lefty or a lefty-righty, whatever the hell, and you want to throw in a righty-righty matchup or a lefty-lefty matchup. So let's say you throw in Swanson if he gets it right, or you throw in Justin Brule and he gets it right. You need someone in that spot to get a strikeout. Like, you can't rely on getting the double play. I know the Cardinals have been very good in turning the most double plays in a while because they have a really good defensive infield with Mason Wynn at short, JJ Weatherhole at second, which recently had Arenado at third, but Gorman seems like he's solid enough, and Burleson at first is solid enough defensively. But you can't rely consistently on getting a double play when a strikeout is just as effective, because if you get that strikeout, you only need one more out and a fly ball does it. Let's say bases are loaded, you get that strikeout, now a fly ball ends the inning. A fly ball doesn't score a run to make it a 2-run game instead of it being a 1-run game. You get out with unscathed. So if you have a guy who can get that strikeout, it just makes such an impact on the team. Chaim Bloom needs to find somebody on the trade block or whatever that can do it. But the thing is, who are your candidates? So looking at some of the potential relievers after the 2026 season. Now, granted, I know there very well could be a lockout after this season. So it may not be worthy to just trade a player on an expiring contract and then have them not know where they're going to be. But there are some very interesting names that are on this list. David Bednar is coming off an expiring contract with the Yankees. He might be a little bit too much money-wise, and if you want to give up to get one of the best closers in the game, and I'm assuming you want to keep Riley O'Brien, you don't want to have to pay David Bednar a lot. Pete Fairbanks is a solid option. Jason Adam, Rafael Iglesias, Jose Alvarado can be a very decent option. He's a lefty, throws hard, can get the swing and miss, can get the strikeouts. Blake Trinan can also get you some swing and miss and some strikeouts. Matt Strahm would be a great 6th or 7th inning guy. He would be a phenomenal lefty out of your bullpen, throws hard, and can get a swing and miss. Kirby Yates would still be solid. I mean, there are a lot of names. Alex Vesia from the Dodgers. There are a lot of options at the end of the year, or at least you could trade for, coming off expiring contracts this year. You could even trade for guys like Garrett Whitlock, who have club options. But you could trade for a Garrett Whitlock from the Boston Red Sox. We know Chaim Bloom loves the Boston Red Sox and trading with them, so you could probably trade for Garrett Whitlock. You could trade for maybe a Aroldis Chapman. You can maybe trade for a Kenley Jansen. I don't think these trades will happen, but it's just the adding to the list of available names that are out there that can help this Cardinal bullpen succeed in the future. And this is the only way the Cardinals bullpen can succeed, is you need the guys who can get a swing and miss. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in the Cardinals bullpen doesn't have nasty stuff. Like Jojo Romero has nasty stuff. Matt Swanson, when he is on, has nasty stuff. People seem to forget. I know he's struggling right now, but Matt Swanson cemented himself as a clear and staple piece to this bullpen. He was a rookie last year. The hitters are finally figuring him out. He's going to have to adjust. It's his 2nd year in the big leagues. Wait it out. I think Matt Swanson is going to be okay. He has the stuff. He has shown the potential. He had a 1.94 ERA last year and was 90% better than the average pitcher in the majors. He had a 190 plus ERA plus. It was something in that, it was around the 190 range. Matt Swanson will be fine. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about Jojo Romero. He seems like the perfect 7th or 8th inning guy. And I'm certainly not worried about Riley O'Brien. But after those 3 guys, and Gordon Graceffo looks like he's becoming a very solid, innings eater. If a starter doesn't go deep enough into a game and you need to eat 2 or 3 innings, Gordon Graceffo looks like he's a pretty good guy for that. That's 4 guys I really like out of the bullpen. The others, I got to be honest, I'm having a lot of questions. Justin Brule, I have a lot of questions with Justin Brule. I have a lot of questions with, although he's been kind of solid other than 1 or 2 outings this year, Ryan Stanek. I'm very, very questionable on him. And he's a guy who can get you strikeouts. He throws hard and he's got plus stuff. But Ryan Stanek, I have a lot of questions surrounding Ryan Stanek. And Matt Bouchard, I know Matt Bouchard went on the IL, but I just had question marks over him as well. That is all the Cardinals need. It's all the Cardinals need. They just need to get the guy or guys that can get swing and miss stuff. And like I said, Jojo Romero, Riley O'Brien, fine. I think Matt Swanson will get it all together. Just please be patient. He's a 2nd-year Major League Pro who had a 1.94 ERA last year. He had a FIP of 2.7. A FIP below 3 is still really, really good. He struck out 10 guys per 9 innings last year. So if he's on, and get this, still this year, even with the off year, he's striking out 7 guys per 9 innings. If he can get it up this year, he's a guy who can get you strikeouts. He did it last year, and he can do it again. Just be patient. I think he'll figure it out. I think he'll be okay. But for now, until he does, the Cardinals need to find the guy who can do it right now consistently. And right now, they don't have it. Let's talk about another perfect thing, though, a plus for the Cardinals this year on the offensive side. And that would be this beautiful young man, 23-year-old Jordan Walker, 1st-round pick in 2020, who's finally showing his true potential. I am so happy for Jordan Walker. Currently leads the major leagues in home runs with 8 as I'm recording this video. This is recorded before the game that takes place on Tuesday and the Wednesday day game against the Guardians. Every day I look at this page, it gets more and more red. It's unbelievable. His base running value is top quarter of the league. Fielding value is in the top 20% of all right fielders in the league. The batting run value is in the 100th percentile. It's unbelievable. WOBA is in the 100th percentile. The ex-WOBA at 489. Expected batting average at 330. So he's gotten a little lucky, but still he's hitting 333 on the year. Slugging 767 with a 1.161 OPS. He's an animal. He's an absolute animal. 99th percentile in all of exit velo, average exit velo of 96.2. So his average exit velo equals a hard hit percentage. He's 99th percentile in hard hit percentage at 64% of the time. The barrel rate at 26% of the time is in the 99th percentile. The sweet spot percentage at 47.6% is in the 97th percentile. And we know he's always been in the top percentile in bat speed. Even when he was in his down years, he had some of the fastest bat speeds in Major League Baseball, 78.4 miles an hour average bat speed. I believe it's top 5 in all of Major League Baseball. And while the crazy part about this is even with all this red, there is still room for improvement. That's the crazy thing. Because if you look down at the bottom, while yes, his chase percentage is down, way down from what it was last year, it's still pretty high. It's still in the bottom half. It's still near the midway point of Major League Baseball. The squared up rate, when he squares it up, he doesn't square it up often, but he hits the sweet spot. It's around middle percent. The width rate could still use improvement, even though it has improved a lot from last year. Same with the strikeout rate at 27%. I know the strikeout rate was north of 30 last year, so the fact it's down a couple percentage points, it's huge. The walk rate is also up from last year, but with a guy of his caliber, and especially if he keeps hitting that way, I think the walk rate will increase because pitchers are going to be more afraid to pitch to him. Jordan Walker just keeps doing what he just keeps. He's an animal. He's an animal. There's really no other words to describe it. The Cardinals needed this. They needed it. With the woes coming out of their bullpen and the offense not being capable of producing a lot of runs, at least of recently in the last 3 games, Jordan Walker being that spark for this young team is something that the Cardinals really, really needed. He had 11 home runs in the last 2 years combined. He already has 8 through, I believe, 16 games in 2026. Hitting 333, on base percentage near 400, and slugging 767. It's an unbelievable turnaround, and I really, really hope that it sticks because this is finally the guy that not just the Cardinals, but a lot of fans across baseball thought was going to be the next big thing. And after a pretty successful rookie year, people forget his rookie year, he was above average in the OPS plus side. I believe he had a 113 OPS plus. The last 2 years went downhill, and this year, being a bounce back year, people were thinking if Jordan Walker is going to be on this team, this is the make or break it year for Jordan Walker. And a lot of people like me were just like, hey, this guy is 23 years old. It could just be an instance that this guy just took a little longer to develop, or maybe took a lot longer to understand what it was like to succeed at the majors. Not everybody has the success that an Albert Pujols had in his rookie year when he hit 35 home runs and hit 320. Not everyone has the success of an Ichiro Suzuki who hit 240 hits and I believe hit 350, won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Not everyone has that type of success. Sometimes it takes a little while longer for players to actually get the proper development and proper training to succeed at the big league level. And it looks like the work that Jordan Walker has put in over the last couple of years and this offseason is finally paying off. And I'm so happy for him. So happy for this guy. As now we just have to worry about Weatherholt. I'm not too worried about Weatherholt yet. The only reason I would worry is because I think we could have rushed him to the big leagues a little too early. That's exactly what we did with Walker, but Walker had a pretty decent rookie year. I'm kind of worried that we may have done that with JJ Weatherholt. But Weatherholt has the tools, he has the speed, he has the hitting tool, and he has pretty good defensive metrics that I think he'll be fine at the big league level. I think once he gets out of the slump, which he's been in a slump for about a couple weeks, I think he will finally break through and he will turn out to be the star that we all thought he was going to be. Well, previewing tonight's game, or at least the game that I'm previewing tonight, Michael McGreevy taking the mound for the Cardinals. They need a desperate win. Otherwise, they risk having a losing homestand against the Red Sox and Guardians. Joey Cantillo pitching for the Cleveland Guardians. He's 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA. Cardinals lineup, Weatherholt leading off at second. Herrera catching today, batting second. Burleson at first. Jordan Walker hitting cleanup, batting fourth. Playing right field. Ramon Arias will bat fifth and play third base. Mason Wynn will bat sixth and play shortstop. I can't talk. Yoel Pozo is the DH and hitting seventh. Thomas Ajayci, the left fielder, bats eighth. And Victor Scout, the second, bats ninth and plays center field. I like the lineup. I think there could be some tweaks. I think sooner rather than later, you need to call up Jimmy Crooks and figure out what you're going to do at the catcher position, because we know, Pedro Pages is a okay defensive catcher. He's very good at framing, but with ABS, it kind of negates it a little bit. Yoel Pozo has a pretty decent bat. It's not like a bat that I would put in the lineup every day. And Ivan Herrera has a bat I'd put in the lineup every day, but he is horrible behind the plate. It's not even close. Jimmy Crooks has been raking at the AAA level. I think you need to give him a chance now. Maybe send Pages down or Pozo, do something. If someone gets hurt, figure it out sooner rather than later. But anyways, that's it for this episode of Cardinal Compass. Hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully the Cardinals maybe fix their bullpen by then. Hopefully they've had a winning record since the next time that I talk to you guys. I'll try to get an episode out on Friday. I've been a very busy man as of late. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.